Mr. Mack would be so proud.
He would. Wow.
Got clutter piling up? FM Junket in Carson, Iowa is your hometown cleanup crew. Fast hauling, fair prices, and now easy dumpster rentals for DIY cleanouts. Your single items to full-on messes, FM Junket gets it done. Call today and breathe a little easier.
I am currently sewing the edge on a panel quilt. We're just made to make it a little bit wider at the top and on the side. And when I get this done, then it'll go in the pile to be quilted.
We're here working with the Women for Veterans, and they are putting together the quilt for Mr. Mack that they designed. And so, Laura, what's your role here?
Basically, I'm just smoothing out the material and guiding her, making sure that both of the threads, top and bottom, are going together.
So you're watching the pattern as it's going in, and then if something happens, you can stop Shirley because she's concentrating down here
On the design.
following the design. So she's really not seeing this; she's seeing the design in the actual quilt that's being made.
And this is called a meander pattern. So it's a little more forgiving.
So it's a nice design. You don't have to do shapes or anything, but it's holding the two pieces of material to the three pieces of material, the sandwich, what they called in the book, to make the quilt nice and soft and just gives it this look of a wave type of pattern in there, even though it isn't waving, it's just following the material and putting the pieces together. And it holds it very nicely, and we can, how long does this usually take to do a Quilt of Valor size?
Yeah. An hour and a half, 2 hours, an hour to 2 hours
To put it
once we
together?
get started. But if we have problems, then, no, it extends the time.
Yeah. But that's the quilting part, but you got to put it on the frame. You got to put it, you got to do all of the design. You got to put it on the frame. You got to do all of that as well. So it's not just the stitching.
Yeah.
It's a lot of spring work
Oh, yes.
beforehand.
Right.
Yeah. And this is just the top part. So then as you get this completed, then you've got to cut it off. You got to bind it. You got to do all of those types of things as well.
Right. And yeah, we have different types of binding. We sew it on and then we hand stitch it down.
And that can take
Like a
2 hours maybe.
Oh, the last one I did was an hour on each side.
Okay, so that was 4 hours just to put the binding on. So it's not a quick process to make one of these quilts. And so
Yeah, because our bobbin usually runs out halfway through the middle, and so then we have to start all over and turn it up.
but it takes about 5 bobbins full to do one of these quilts. So you have to have them all prepared, ready to go. And that's why you use these large spoons of thread and so much material. So how big is this quilt there? Normally, I mean,
Well, this one is from the book, so
yeah. So it's standard Quilt of Valor size, and
yeah, we've done up to 108 inches on this machine. Yeah,
wow,
yep, king size.
king size quilt, you can go up to 15.
Oh yes, yep, we do king size, and it's always taken 2 of us to do it. We work a little bit better when we do two of us because we can watch on both sides. You know, the bottom if there's a mistake or put on a thread. So, so our quilts for Mr. Mac is really coming together. Just sitting there and got good design and just it's going to be usable.
Yes. And that's what you want. You want these quilts to be strong enough to entertain, stand washing, stand using, stand doing what its job is instead of being hung on a wall.
Okay. You ready, Laura?
That's getting close.
Okay. Watch your. He usually lets me know when I get to the edge. You want to see the edge on red? Yeah. Here, there, red. There we go.
Edge, edge.
There, you're
Oh.
out of thread.
Out of thread. So that works.
Good timing.
Yep. We're here at the headquarters or the working group for Women for Veterans. So we wanted to just kind of give you an idea of where they start, how they start, what they do to get a quilt of valor accomplished and done through the process. So Betty Jensen here and some of her stash of materials that she has available. Where do you go?
Well, we kind of just decide what quilt we want to make. And right now we're working on Mr. Mac's quilt. So what we would do is we would come and look through these scraps of material and see what we want to use. So we could like grab this one and whatever we want here.
There's some hearts. Here's
Yeah.
anything that kind of goes together, or just whatever
Even if
trips your trigger.
Even if it doesn't go together,
It
we
will.
can still use it because we're going to cut it, sew it together, and cut it again. So we'll just start with these three and we'll go cut these and add them to what we already have over
Okay.
here.
So you've got lots of material already started, though, Betty.
Right.
Got some already cut.
These are all 5-inch squares and we're going to cut a few more to add to this mess and see what we come up with.
Okay. So you come over to the work table and you get your material out if it's all ready to go. And then you can,
And well,
if you need to iron it, I can iron it.
we're fine here.
Okay.
We're going to put it on the cutting mat and we're going to cut the edge to make sure we got a good clean edge to start with. And we're going to make these 5-inch squares. Cut this in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Line it up. So
And
you've got enough
do that.
material for that. Okay.
And then we'll take this and we'll cut this up here. And this is one way that we use up a lot of our scraps.
So that's all your prep work, but you've already got some of them already started. So we can
Right.
go over here to the ones that you're starting to sew together. But this is how you just start your squares. You
Start the squares.
keep going,
keep
make them in
going,
a stack.
and whatever.
Yep,
And
yep.
we'll throw these over here.
Yeah, and you can
And
mix them
then-
with that.
Then we take 3 5-inch squares.
Okay.
stick them together like this. Then when we get these,
Then you
then
come back
we
over
take,
here.
what did I do with that other one? We'll take 3 rows of 3 and sew them together.
Okay.
And then
So what is that called? What is
this
that called?
is a 9 patch.
Okay. And once you get a 9 patch,
Then we're gonna put this on here. And
Okay.
then I am
you
going
got to
to
square it up. Make sure you're doing your lines. Okay.
cut this in half.
Okay.
Then I'm going to turn it again and cut it again.
Just like the book, what she said, oh, you just sewed those together. Now you're cutting them apart. So it's kind of a mix match. So the colors that you had started aren't really the colors you're going to end up with, or the design that you had.
That's why it doesn't matter if they match, or
Yeah.
just don't want like 2 blues together or 2 reds, you
Uh-huh.
know, just something different.
And it takes time to put these together. So how many of these little, now
I,
these squares, how many?
I have no idea.
I don't either, but you're going to make it
Then-
approximately 56 inches
Right.
or so. And
Then we're going to take
and try and make a
these
layout.
and
Yeah.
just lay them out however we or feel like.
Yeah.
So we can just lay them like this.
And start
Let's
putting
see,
it
put
together.
this one here.
Yeah.
Put another one over here. You know, and then we sew those rows together, you know, down this way. And then we sew them that way, and we end up with what they've got on the quilting frame over there.
Right. And so you just keep going until you
Keep
don't
going.
want to do it
I think
anymore.
this is 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces, and we'll come 8 pieces this way.
Right. And that ended up being, I don't know how to tape measure, but we were going to measure it. And then you can put a border on the side, like some of these quilts, you put borders on it to give it an idea. And then the binding, you got to put binding on them. And I see this one's been stitched in red, which makes it really pop. And you can do whatever color stitching that you want. So you have a lot of material and you have a lot of things that you're working with. How do you get the funds to do this? What do you do?
Right now, the American Legion in Woodbine is purchasing our backing
Okay.
and our batting.
Okay.
And a lot of our fabric is donated. And we do purchase, you know, some.
Well, you have to do fundraising
right,
to
we do
purchase that,
fundraising.
and your thread and your machines and all of that is pretty much, some of that's yours.
The machine, it belongs to Shirley and I,
Uh-huh.
and the thread was all donated.
But
So
yeah.
we'll never have to buy thread again.
Well, you hope.
Yeah.
But there's so much that you're trying to do, but you don't just do this. You do other things as well.
Right.
Yeah.
We,
This winter you did some bags. I was part of that little bit of a team.
we made walker bags.
Walker bags.
That we took to the nursing home for the veterans there, so they could have these on their walkers, and they'll also work on the back of a chair. And we put Velcro on here instead of ties, and just
Mhm.
made it double-sided.
Right.
We have done wreaths for the veterans,
To put on their doors.
Mhm.
Mhm.
and Christmas stockings,
Yeah.
and I don't know what all else, but we've done quite a few things. We try to get them something
Yeah.
at Veterans Day and then Christmas both.
Plus, you also make quilts for Applefest,
Right.
quilts to donate for Christmas, to do fundraisers, to purchase more.
Right.
I mean, a lot of times the material, if you had to buy it, it's like $14 to $18 a yard for patriotic material. So it takes quite a few yards, as we can see, to put something nice together. Plus the panels, if you use a panel,
Right.
those are not inexpensive to have a panel.
They're like 12, 14.
$12, $14 for just a panel to put in the middle, and then you got to put all the quilting around it. So it's fundraising is necessary. The quilts one you did for Christmas
We have ours for this year
this year
already done. And
you'll
for
sell
Apple Fest,
raffle
we're done.
tickets, and it goes through the American Legion, so
Right.
they help sponsor that as well.
Right.
And the Apple Fest one, that's coming up in September, end of September. You'll have a booth there to provide a lot of things for the veterans to get. The Harrison County Veterans Affairs office is there. They'll give out coins and just talk to veterans to get them to come in and apply for benefits. So you're not just doing a quilt of honor or quilt of valor, you're actually help promoting different veteran programs within the state of Iowa,
Right.
in this part of Iowa.
We also refer them, if anybody has any questions, to Harrison County Veterans Affairs. We send
Oh, yeah,
send girls to Girls State,
right?
and we give out scholarships for veterans' families. They
High
have
school
to have
students.
They have to have a veteran tie,
Mhm.
and
You sent Christmas cards to veterans or military service members and gift certificates and
yeah,
gift cards to them. So they're providing a lot more than just this.
right.
You're doing a lot. You're
And-
doing a lot for the veterans in the community, and
We did a breakfast.
you do a veteran breakfast
At Willow Lake.
at Willow Lake. You work with conservation and promote different programs, fishing tournaments, that type of thing, and
Yeah.
provide activities. You could keep yourself out there in the community quite a bit.
I can't remember exactly, but we have given, let's see what it says here. Awarded since November of 24, we have given out 17 quilts. Just our small little group, and since 2023, we've given out 28.
So, and you have how many? You have 1, 2. Then you'll have several of them ready to go that need to be quilted. So that's going to take a little time.
Yeah,
for
we
you to
probably
do that.
will either have a dozen or more ready to go before the.
You have a big thing
June.
coming up in July that a family requested some Quilts of Valor for a family that all of them served. A lot of them served in the military.
Yes, we have a family local that has 5 or 6 members that all served in the military. So we're going to give them
Presentation,
quilts
yeah.
in July.
For their reunion. So that'll be awesome to acknowledge that one family of just siblings,
Mhm.
not older. They're all just siblings that have that committed to the military, and you guys are just providing great honors for them.
One can't be back, but the rest of them will.
Yep. And eventually we might be able to get that presentation online too, with that one that's not able to make it.
Yeah.
So, but no, how long have you been doing this now? Then you guys just started this. You got your 501c, I think, last year?
In 23, wasn't
Yeah.
it, Laura?
23, yeah.
And
Yep. So a very short period of time that you've really, since 28 quilts, since 2023.
Since we
Yeah, with a
started.
small group
mhm.
of less than 10 in
And
the
that-
group.
Well,
Yeah.
there's only 4, 5 of us that are active.
In the quilting process of it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
and then we make our own labels. We've got an embroidery
Oh, yeah.
machine over there
There's one
that
that's
we use.
I don't think she has one. Do you
I,
have one
I don't
already
have
made?
one.
Have nothing. Yeah, and it's in honor of the veteran. It gives the veteran's name and
Branch of service.
branch of service and from Women for Veterans. So that kind of makes a big difference on giving them that. And then it gives the year of when the quilt was made.
Uh-huh.
And so if you're making a quilt, I was yelled at because I'd like to make a few, and I was told I needed to put the date on there as to when I made them and my name. So
We don't put our name.
no, you put Women for Veterans.
We put women for
That's
veterans,
right.
but we don't.
Right.
Put
Put your
any-
personal name.
Right.
When you make something, you need to make sure people know who's doing it.
Yeah.
And that's a good idea. And you have one lady that sits there and she does all
She
of
does
that,
those.
which is good. Kathy does a good job. So, but
Yeah.
you have. So how often do you ladies get together?
It's kind of hard.
It's hot.
Because you all have other lives. This is just a part-time volunteer job.
Okay, you got bubble?
Yeah, I didn't know what to do.
Laura works yet, and Shirley works, and
You got bubble.
Videos, yeah.
Okay.
you ain't going all the way.
Nope, I'm not.
You got to put it taut, don't you, Betty?
Yeah,
Just there, just to hold it.
just enough to hold it. So
It's such a pretty pattern. It doesn't have to be perfect or anything, but it's just putting those pieces together and making them just work as a unit. I mean,
and we don't claim to be perfect. These are done with love, and that's the main thing. And I don't believe that the veterans are going to care whether it's perfect or not.
no. Well, because you're giving it to them because of their service, and you're giving it to them because they deserve it, and you want to honor them.
And a lot of these should have been given years ago.
Correct. And that's the other thing. If they have any veteran that might be in hospice or in the area that has a cancer diagnosis or in a nursing home that has never received this honor, that's the most important ones that you want to make sure they're deserving and they're getting that quilt before something happens. And it's just a way to honor their military service that they've never received more than likely before. And as our veteran ages out of the system, we don't have many World War II veterans left, and you want to make sure you capture them.
And there's a lot of veterans that say, well, I didn't serve overseas or anything. I don't deserve that. Well, they gave up their time and they served our country, so they deserve it just as well as anyone else.
And the families are very appreciative of what you're providing to that veteran as well. I mean, we've had a lot of family members that get just as emotional about the quilt presentation than the veteran does, because they know somebody is acknowledging what their military service meant. You're getting there, yeah.
You got thank you ladies.
Yeah, you've received thank yous. Well, I imagine you need more than thank you sometimes. So if someone wants to donate to the Quilt Women for Veterans, how do they do that? How would they get in touch with you? How would they provide a donation? And you are a 501c3, so you can give a military tax exemption to them. So they get a hold of you.
I can give you our contact information and then you can
Make sure we put it
make
on
sure
there.
you put it on.
And you have a Facebook page, so they can go
Yeah.
on your Facebook page and give you a message as well. So this would be something that if they have material to donate, if they have funds to donate to help purchase material, anything that you could use to help keep going would be appreciative. Yeah. We're almost coming to the end of this one. Mr. Max Quilt's getting quilted here. What a way to honor someone that wrote a book, yeah, for their father. It's just to present or make one just like it. It's awesome.
And it looks like it's complicated, but it's really a simple quilt to make.
Well, once you've done it a few hundred times, makes a difference. But when we're just sitting here looking at it, it's like, that's a lot of work. And it is a lot of work. You got to cut, you got to pick the pattern, you got to decide how you want to put it together. And it's just not completely easy for the novice person. But a lot of dedication doing it. Wow. Okay, so you're at the end here, Shirley. So now
Edge.
you got to go down the edge so they can cut it and put the binding on.
Edge. You're done.
There we go.
Except for we go.
Whoops.
You got to go down the edge.
Yeah, are you going to?
This is so cool.
Pattern. You're off, right? Thing, but
Well, you
no,
might.
just do it.
You might.
You get a little craft.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can talk about how hard it is.
Okay.
Sunglasses
Okay.
off your
Okay.
head.
Oh yeah.
Grab
All my glasses off my head.
all you're gonna do is just run a stitch all the way along the bottom.
Okay.
Push this button.
No, it's ready to go.
It's ready to
push what button?
Well, just go.
Oh, you just. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm just doing it. You're not on the other side.
No.
Oh, okay. Start here.
Yeah.
Okay. Now how do I start? Push.
Just go.
Just pull.
Nope, it's not running.
The mess has stopped after a while.
Okay, now go. Nope.
Nope.
She's got
Come on,
to push it.
Booger. Okay.
Go.
Go. Oh, there it is.
Isn't that something?
Yeah. Oh, it's hard to keep it straight. That's kind of cool. This is kind of cool because I started with cutting the square.
Oh,
Oh, bobbin's
thread broke.
gone.
Yep.
I think it's bobbin. I started with cutting the squares,
Gonna put bobbin in.
and then now I get to.
Well, you get to.
yeah.
We can be done.
We can be
Yeah.
done. Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can be done.
Okay. Okay. Now
Yep.
we're going to show you how to tear it apart.
Yeah. Now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now they're going to remove it from.
Get the little handy dandy electric scissors.
Okay.
You might end up with an
Now.
We just learned this a couple of months ago.
I know, because the last time I did this, I had to use the scissors and I had to cut. That's handy
This
dandy.
looks a lot easier.
Well, apparently so. It's quicker and it seams along the line. So you go all the way down, or do you leave this?
I'll go
You stop
all the
right
way.
there?
Yeah.
No,
We'll
surely
you
you'll
go.
put the rest of
Okay,
it.
here.
Okay. Oh, just tear it, because remember we learned that you can rip it and it'll rip straight.
Right.
And that's how we start back
Yeah.
up again.
Then your new piece is down there to be able to start it. So here's all your
Grab that corner.
binding or your batting you put in the middle. So now you got to, Shirley's going to cut on this end and she's using that on that end. So they're cutting at the same time to get it off of the machine. Okay, and then they roll it. Okay, look at that quilt. Look at how gorgeous that quilt is. And we were both part of that, putting this sucker together. See, and they did,
Well,
who didn't know? You want to go that way? But look at how they have to pin all the strips on. Many hands.
Sometimes we can get 2 done in a day. If the machine agrees.
Yeah, look at that. Hold it up, girls. Shirley, hang on to this end. Hold it
Laura,
up.
get over there.
Yeah, Laura,
There we go.
come on over. Oh, look at how pretty that is. And that's without the binding.
Right.
And now you just sew the binding on
Right.
and then flip it and stitch it by hand on the other side. Wow. What a
Mr. Mac would be so
Mr. Mac-
proud.
He would. Wow. And there's really just whatever patriotic material that they'd have to
As-
use to create it.
And as long as you got a 5-inch square, that's all it takes.
That's all it takes. Yep.